Hey, what's up, guys? So in this video, this episode, we're gonna be continue focusing on the interior. Specifically, we're gonna focus on the dash pad, trying to get that glued back, or the new dash pad glued onto the dash support panel thing, whatever you want to call it. But it's basically this guy right here. It's this original steel support thing for the dash, and then basically I just got to clean it all up, get all that crap off of there, maybe give it a quick paint job, and glue the new pad on there, which is right here. So yeah, we're gonna try to get that done, get that glued on here and figure it out. Probably cut out the holes for all the, the radio and the AC vents and stuff, because the pads, because not all of these cars came with AC and stuff, so they have it blocked off and you got to basically cut it yourself. And then after that, yeah, after that we'll see. I'll try to continue working on the interior. Here I'll show you what it looks like now, or how far I got after I stopped recording. So I think you guys already seen all this, but I have a little panel that I put in there. You can kind of see it. So I had two options. Either I replace that floor piece completely, which would be a pretty big undertaking for my skill level and the tools that I have. So basically what I did was make a little template for that, and I cut out a piece of the truck bedside that was damaged, the truck where I'm getting the engine from, and yeah, I cut that out to fit perfectly in there. Put a bunch of seam sealer underneath, and then I'm gonna tack weld it all the way around. So in theory, I think this should be a lot stronger than it ever was. We're going to be basically a lot thicker. And then, I obviously sanded down all the rust, sprayed it with some rust primer so we're not, to prevent the rust. And then the seam sealer all over the rust holes, plus all the undercoating I'm going to do underneath. It should really stop the rust. And then, we have a extra layer of sheet metal now, so the floor pan underneath the driver's side should be pretty strong. Not the right way of doing it, you gotta cut it out and replace it, but I think this is a pretty good alternative for my skill level and my finances. So yeah, yeah, so we're gonna try to maybe we'll get that welded in. There's a couple other small holes I gotta patch up. Get this painted black. And once that's done, finish seam sealing everything and start putting that the sound deadening tape down, foam, and get this area buttoned up, at least the floor, so we can start putting some of the interior back in. So yeah, it should be pretty nice. All right, I've also been pretty busy on the side here. That truck that I got for the engine and the transmission, like I said, I picked it up for like 1,500 bucks, which was dirt cheap. It had a brand new transmission in it. Then I decided to part it out and see if I can get some of my money back. And so this is basically it. My backyard here. Most of it's pretty stripped now. Sold a bunch of the parts. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting pretty bare. So, but the cool thing is I was able to sell, all the stuff that I sold, and it's just on that Facebook marketplace. And there's a helicopter in the sky causing a bunch of noise, so we'll go back in the garage. There he is. But yeah, so basically with all those parts that I sold, I'm at like, so far at around at around 1,300 bucks, I think. I gotta count it all, which is cool since the truck costs 15. I'm almost there. Basically, we have a free engine, free transmission, radiators, basically everything I need for the swap. So that'd be very, very nice, helpful financially. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. So we'll see how far I can get with this video. And yeah, stick around and enjoy. All right, so first thing, I'm gonna try to scrape everything off. Whatever comes off, just so I'm not making as big of a dusty mess when I'm gonna be wire mill and everything. So yeah, pretty simple job here. So it should come off pretty easily, I think. Most of it, at least. Alright, so what are we doing now?
We're gonna clean the table with the vacuum.
And this too, right? So we got it cleaned up. I got it acetone. I'm gonna paint it, but for now I want to test fit the dash pad, just to see how it's gonna look. Make sure it fits. Basically, there's these little tabs left over. You're going to have to fold it over and glue it on once we get to that point. Pretty tight fit. Now this side's better. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be amazing. I'd say that's pretty close. I just got to get everything glued. Well, paint it first, and then get it glued on there. But yeah, overall, this is gonna be really nice. It's beautiful. I've cut out the little vent for the AC. I think that's where that plate goes down here. Yeah, this is gonna be nice. Alright, so there it is. Got it all painted. You know, I sprayed it with that rust primer first to prevent any further rusting of that rusty metal. And then yeah, and I like all I had was that undercoating paint that I was using inside of the car. And I figured, why not? Might as well throw it on here, see how it does. And I think it actually turned out pretty dang cool. Definitely overkill as far as, you know, painting this thing this well. Since it's just gonna be covered up, I could have probably just sprayed it with that primer and left it at that, and it would have been fine. But I got a little carried away. So yeah, but either way, it looks pretty cool. Now we just gotta let it dry, and then while it's drying, I'll probably focus on working on that floor piece some more, getting that tacked in there. I then come back to this and try to get that dash pad glued on. So yeah. Alright, so yeah, there it is. This was pretty frustrating. It's not the best, it's not the prettiest. You can see I had to make a bunch of tacks, or a bunch of little patches because of just random holes here and there. But either way, not the prettiest, but it'll work, and it'll be plenty strong. So yeah, I just got to clean it up, do a little bit of touch-up grinding, a bunch of seam sealer, and that should be it for this little section. So yeah. Alright, so there it is. This is just kind of test fitted. Just shoved it in there just to see how good it's going to fit and make sure it's going to fit nice and flush whenever I finally glue it. Had to trim up a couple spots. I had to trim a little bit around here so it fits around this little bracket. And this is where it attaches to the actual car. These little holes. You got those little screws that go in there. But yeah, you know, so if you're doing one of these, this is how I'm doing it. Just kind of test fitting it, trimming whatever needs to be trimmed. Make sure that it sits nice and flush. You know, there's little AC system and stereo system and stuff that's gonna go there. All this is gonna fit flush, and then that's gonna all fit pretty flush. You know, that'll slide in there, whatever. But basically, how I'm gonna do it, got a bunch of this high strength spray adhesive. I'm gonna take the frame out of there. I'm gonna clean everything up, make sure there's no grease left. I'm like, this thing's a little greasy. Make sure it's, you know, clean and degreased and stuff. so that the glue can stick pretty good in there. Then I'll spray everything, shove it back in there, and then I bought a bunch of these clips, basically just to hold it in, so that'll, you can see it lifts the whole thing. But you know, I'll put them kind of everywhere I think it needs it, just to hold it tight while it dries. And yeah, and then I think I'm not gonna glue this yet, but so once everything's tight on there and dry, I will then trim this guy up, and then I'm gonna glue it in here, you know, cut around all these little bracket tabs and stuff and glue it in there, so that I don't have any gaps when it's gonna be in the car. I read about these. They say the mistake that some people make when installing these is they'll cut this too far or too early, and then when it's in the car you'll see a little bit of a gap if you look through the windshield. Not a huge deal, not noticeable if you don't know what it is, but I'm gonna try to avoid that. So yeah, here we go. Yeah. It's glued. As you guys notice, I changed up the plan a little bit. I ran out of those clips. Took a lot more of them than I thought it would. Oops, that's no good. Sheesh, that sucks. I mean, I'll leave that like that for now. That sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. But whatever. What are you gonna do about that? Yeah. Turns out tape. A little bit of clips and a bunch of tape. I went for painter's tape just because I don't know how duct tape would, if it would stick to this and damage it or not. I'm sure it wouldn't. Probably be fine, but I didn't want to risk it. It's not exactly a super cheap item. But yeah, either way, there's all the tape. I don't know if this is the way people do it. If it's not, it's just what I came up with. And then the pieces of wood and the spots that I couldn't really couldn't get a clamp on there to hold it tight. Didn't have big enough clamps. So yeah, this is it. Hopefully turns out good. Hopefully the glue dries good and it actually sticks to this material, because I was having some issues in some spots. Maybe I didn't clean it good enough, I don't know. But either way, I will let that sit and dry for a while. Then we'll come back and cut out the pieces over here for the AC vents, and then the stereo goes down here. And then what else? Yeah, maybe we'll dry fit, like the gauge cluster and stuff like that. And yeah, but that might be the next video. We'll see. All right, there it is. It's mostly dry. I still got the tape on there just to stays on there until I'm ready to install it and mess with it. So lesson learned, do not use these clips for this. They're a little too tight. And as you noticed earlier, I damaged the little spot right here. It squeezed it too much, stretched it, and yeah, so and now it's gonna be an eyesore and it's gonna bug me, but whatever. I tried to put some more glue inside of there and heat it up and stretch it, which I got the clip going, holding it back, stretching it out a little bit, hoping this would be right up against the end where it won't be too noticeable. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm not gonna buy a new one over that, even though I want to. Can't afford it. But yeah, so other than that little imperfection, I think it turned out pretty good. I still have to roll these in and glue them in the back and whatever. Yeah, but I figured I'm not gonna record that, and I kind of ran out of time. So yeah. And here's this, still drying, but yeah, it turned out pretty good, I'd say, at least for, you know, my level of experience. I'm still learning, so I didn't get time to put any seam sealer on in this video, and I don't know, probably won't record that. I don't know if that's entertaining or not to watch somebody put a bunch of caulking on there on seams. So yeah, either way, that's done. I need to seam sealer everything. I still gotta finish these little what are they called, the holes where the seat goes into. I need to put little spacers inside of there and weld them in for rigidity. Yeah, take all that apart, the little old shifters, and cover that up. And once I finish that little section, this will all be done. I can start reassembling. You know, the dash is almost ready to go. I can start reassembling the interior and freeing up some space for myself, because I don't really got a bunch of room to store everything. So yeah, this is as far as we got. This will be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I know videos are kind of random whenever I post them. I don't really have a set schedule. I do whenever I have time. So it's just how it is. But either way, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And there is a quick sneak peek of what it's gonna look like. Still gotta cut out the AC vent and the stereo thing. There's the gauge cluster. Still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with it, because this is kind of ugly. Somebody cut that out for, I don't know, the oil pressure gauge or something. I don't know. It's ugly. The holes are supposed to be this size, and they cut this and that out. So I don't know. We'll see if I can find some gauges that fit in there that look pretty. But yeah, there's that. I was just chilling there. And the glove box cover, I just have it clipped on in the back. But the main thing I wanted to show before we end this video fully is I was able to fix that little issue that we had. I mean, it's still kind of noticeable, but you know, from a little bit further or from any angle that somebody's going to be looking, it's not that noticeable. So yeah, basically all I did was you know, peeled it back a little bit, sprayed some more glue in there. I let it sit for a day or so within the foam itself inside, got its shape back a little bit, and then I heated up the vinyl, and I stretched it out towards the back, and I clipped it in the back and let it glue. So yeah, if anybody makes the same mistake, there's that. It's a quick fix. It's, you know, not perfect, but way better than it was. So yeah, but either way, that's there's a quick sneak peek. So, all right, bye again.